Okay, guys, thank you very much, everybody, for coming to join us. I really, really do appreciate it. Today, I have somebody that I'm very, very excited to talk to because he represents an area that I think myself and a lot of Indians like to know more about, but are woefully unfamiliar with. So I'm very, very excited to talk to him today. Senge Sering is a Washington, D.C. based director of Gilgit-Baltistan National Congress, which is a diaspora group formed in 2010 to raise awareness about the human rights situation in the Gilgit-Baltistan region. So I'm very, very excited to talk to him today, and very, very excited to get to know more about the area. Please welcome to the show, Senge ji. Namaste.
Namaste, Sham. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
No, definitely, definitely. Thank you very much for taking time out of your day today. And I sort of just wanted to start off with getting to know a little bit about the current situation in Gilgit-Baltistan. The political situation. What is the current situation like in Gilgit-Baltistan?
So Gilgit-Baltistan is in the north of Pakistan, between China and Pakistan. We are the only land route between China and Pakistan. We connect Pakistan with China. It is a area in Pakistani controls in 1947. Pakistan considers Gilgit-Baltistan a disputed area. It is not officially considered a part of Pakistan. Pakistan's constitutional scope does not really extend to Gilgit-Baltistan. Gilgit-Baltistan have been ruled by Pakistan without constitutional structures, infrastructure, institutions that's have its own implications that we can talk about in detail. Currently, Gilgit-Baltistan has gained fame because of CPEC, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, that cuts through Gilgit-Baltistan and connects China and Pakistan. And local people are demanding their rights after this involuntary fame that they have attained because of China's growing interest in the Middle East and South Asia. They're demanding political rights, they're demanding constitutional rights, they're demanding religious freedom and safety, they're demanding individual freedoms, freedom for expression. A lot of protests are going on in Gilgit-Baltistan. The international situation and scenario is evolving rapidly, and local people are trying to catch up and keep up with it.
Yeah, it's interesting because in the Indian still we get to hear and see a little bit about what's going on in the Mirpur area, the Muzaffarabad area in that part of Kashmir, and you still hear that disenchantment that those Kashmiris have with how the Pakistani government have been treating them, because they proudly proclaim that they're part of Pakistan, but the treatment's been slightly different. But people don't really hear that much news coming out of Gilgit-Baltistan area and what really the people are feeling and experiencing over there. So let's talking a little bit about, you were talking about there's not really any constitutional framework for the government of Pakistan in Gilgit-Baltistan area. So how does the the government structure or any sort of legal structure work? Are there some sort of elections that are held there, or the leaders that maybe govern the area of Gilgit-Baltistan, are they chosen by Pakistan? How does that happen? Because there's a lot of news that Indians hear about Balochistan, where even though there's supposed to be this constitutional framework over there, but more or less the leaders there are chosen by from sort of Punjabi approval. So how does that work in Gilgit-Baltistan?
Very true. I mean, whoever wins in Islamabad will do a landslide in Gilgit-Baltistan, no doubt.
Wow.
It's the same about POK, or as the locals call it, Azad Kashmir. It will be the same about Balochistan, for sure. So Gilgit-Baltistan, it was part of Jammu and Kashmir, and it is still part of that state,
Yes.
which is considered by India as its constitutional part, integral part. India has extended constitutional rights, full constitutional rights to Ladakh. Baltistan was a district of Ladakh. So if we were in India today, we would have received the same constitutional rights, which is You can vote your representatives to the parliament. You can be a member of the parliament. You can be a president and prime minister of that country. You can benefit from the constitutional and judicial rights, Supreme Court and High Court. Unfortunately, what happened is that Pakistan does not have the capacity, the legal capacity, to extend all the rights that other Pakistanis are supposed to enjoy, including the Baloch, are supposed to enjoy because of the fact that Maharaja Hari Singh forwarded and offered his letter of accession to India, and British government accepted that letter of accession. Pakistan was able to control 1/3 of Jammu and Kashmir through Operation Dattakhel, through Operation Gulmarg. These are the famous operations that were carried out from Rawalpindi and Peshawar by the military command. Major Brown, he was under Peshawar military command, and he's very famous. He executed the whole operation and took control of Gilgit, Diamir, Ghazar, Hunzanagar, and part of Ladakh, which is Baltistan. So if you look at the UN documents, for instance, Baltistan is not a name there. You will not find it. It is called part of Ladakh in Pakistani control.
Wow.
So even the United Nations, documents do acknowledge that. Baltistan is a new name. In 1970s, when the first time a district was created there, local system was established during Bhutto's time. Then Baltistan district was created. So that's the first time when the word Baltistan was officially recognized as the name of a district.
Wow.
And then now it has 4 districts, so it has become a division. And then it pairs with Gilgit as a region, which is actually bigger than 3 times bigger than Maryland. It's a huge region. It's bigger than Pakistan's Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. It's bigger than that.
It's a massive region.
Massive. The population is about less than 2 million. It is disputed because a lot of people who live outside Gilgit-Baltistan are not counted. People living in Karachi, for instance, in the Middle East, Islamabad, etc. So what Pakistan has tried to do is rule us through presidential ordinances or executive orders that come from Ministry of Kashmir Affairs. So Gilgit-Baltistan and Azad Kashmir, or POK, they come under the Foreign Affairs Standing Committee. So you can imagine, that Pakistan's relationship with Gilgit-Baltistan is already very fragile. If a Senate's Standing Committee on Foreign Affairs is dealing with Gilgit-Baltistan, it's already an external area that you're dealing with temporarily, right? So Pakistan is ruling us with executive orders, with presidential ordinances. They have created a local system which does not have any legal or constitutional support and safety nets. A lot of money is pumped into Gilgit-Baltistan in the name of grants. And that's how they run the local system. There is a chief minister there. There is a governor there. Local people do not elect a chief minister. He's elected by Pakistan's prime minister.
Wow.
Yeah, so they elect representative assembly members, and then Pakistani prime minister decides who's going to be the chief minister. Not the members of the assembly, like in India and Pakistan, right? In Pakistan, when somebody is nominated for the chief minister slot, then he gets votes from the local assembly members. Here, the nomination comes from Pakistan. The judges, they are nominated, by Pakistan. Pakistan Supreme Court does not have any jurisdiction in Gilgit-Baltistan, so there's a local court. It's a parallel Supreme Court, but again, that court is heavily influenced by Ministry of Kashmir Affairs. So there's a lot of manipulation from Pakistan because there's no constitutional framework. It's an ad hoc system. It's an ad hoc management system, governance system that they have created till Kashmir issue is resolved.
That's very interesting because it's almost opposite land in the two different countries, because the Kashmiris in India, I think they get these perks extra, and because of the two constitutional amendments that have been made, 35A and the other one where non-Kashmiris can't even buy property in Kashmir. And if you're a Kashmiri woman and you're married to a non-Kashmiri man, then as a Kashmiri woman, you still can't buy any property in the state. And there's so much autonomy that Kashmir, that is in India, has in terms of governing its affairs, taking care of its affairs, and so on and so forth. And it's very interesting to see or to hear about the contrast that exists in the same area that is just under control of two different countries.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, Kashmir has been integrated into the system.
Yep.
India's constitutional is fully functional there. Local land rights are protected. Local economic rights are protected. Rights of local over their resources are protected. In Gilgit-Baltistan, locals do not own any thing like that. So, for instance, recently an order has been passed which allows Pakistani Prime Minister to hand over our land to anyone he deems necessary.
Wow.
Local assembly or local chief minister, local governor cannot stop him from handing over our land to anyone, including the Chinese and the other foreigners and the Pakistanis, as he deems necessary. Every inch of land is now property of Pakistani Prime Minister.
Wow.
It's the same with the resources. When they want to come and exploit our precious stones and gems and minerals, Pakistani military support the exploiters who come from outside, who do not share revenue with the local people, do not share the jobs with the local people. And then when the local people retaliate, Pakistani military protects the exploiter.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's just a no man's land. Local people have, limited say in day-to-day affairs, like how they are going to run their schools and hospitals. And again, schools and hospitals and other service structures do not have enough budget, enough money, and the resources to help the local people. So they have been kept on handout. So they will be dependent on Islamabad for their basic sustenance and survivability. That's how the colonial system worked. If you empower the local people and you let them know their actual situation, then Islamabad might have a very hard time controlling them. And the fact that local people, live in an area which is very important, given its sharing border with China and Afghanistan. We share a direct border with Afghanistan. And Tajikistan is only 9 miles away.
Wow.
Through the Wakhan corridor. So we're basically connected to Central Asia. So this is, a curse for the local people, that they have to live in an area which is so important for Pakistan. And yet Pakistan cannot, legally cannot, constitutionally cannot enjoy to control the area. So Pakistan always see itself as an occupier.
Yeah.
The psychological thing. Even the local people are Muslim, Pakistan knows that it's an occupier. So when it's out there, then psychologically you are already very defensive and insecure. And it is that insecurity among the Pakistani ruling elite that forced them to promote and formulate policies which are not pro-people, but it is definitely pro-exploitation.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It when it comes to because we were just talking before we went live as well, that people around Pakistan in different areas of the country, they have very unique, distinct local cultures as well. And in terms of that, how well have the people of Gilgit-Baltistan have been able to preserve their local cultures and their local traditions, or is there a lot of interference from the center towards that?
I mean, I would say we're on the verge of collapse.
Wow.
There's a huge Punjabization of the culture, and Most of it is systematic and voluntary, but then, because local people want to prove their loyalty to Pakistan, right? So that's why I'm saying it's voluntary. But then they also realize that it is also killing their own distinct cultures and their identity. We are connected with the Tibetans on one hand. There's a small community in Gilgit who are connected with people in Rajasthan. They're called Domes or Doma. They're also connected with the Romas of Europe. And then we have Tajik who live in the north. They're connected with Tajikistan and Afghanistan's northern areas, and China, Xinjiang, very strong cultural affiliation with them. We have the Sheens and Yashkuns who speak a language which is very close to Sanskrit. I think it is the closest to Sanskrit that, and in Kashmiri. And between Sheen, Khwar, and Kashmiri, these three put together called Dardic languages, along with other smaller dialects in Kohistan, Pakistan's Kohistan district, and Swat district, and Kalam district on the peripheries. So, these cultures are very unique, and they need to be preserved, and these identities need to be preserved. But unfortunately, it is the ebb and flow in the politics and international maneuvering that is forcing local people to kind of take their attention away from who they really are and try to associate with Pakistan and Iran and Saudi Arabia and be friends with China. So these bring their own influences. When you try to accommodate Iran and Saudi Arabia because of religion, it is not just religion, it is going to alter your entire culture, right? And then when you're trying to accommodate Pakistan politically or China economically and strategically, then it is going to bring their own influences. So we are at the verge of collapse. And I think the only way we can save ourselves is if we have a complete autonomous independent system where Pakistan is not allowed to
dictate affairs,
political affairs, cultural affairs, religious affairs. Pakistan's obsession with Wahhabism and the madrasa culture, and its obsession to convert Kashmir into a terror land for India has destroyed Gilgit-Baltistan. I mean, you recently saw how the schools were burned, right? And they have been burning schools for years now. They've been killing, Shias for years now, Ismailis and Nurbakhshis and Sufis. And this is happening because Pakistan has this mutual relationship with the terrorist where, they get to control their own hideouts and their launch areas and expand their influence and control and dictate terms. It's the same where, if you remember how, in Lebanon, when the Palestinians moved into Lebanon, right? And essentially the South Lebanon is all Shia.
Yeah.
So Palestinians were given camps in South Lebanon, and there they were destroying the identity of the Shias, as well as their livelihoods, their structures. They were raping local women. They were killing local Shias and intimidating them and beating them and pushing them out of their land. This is exactly how Pakistan and its relationship with terrorists is doing in Gilgit-Baltistan. It's changing our demography. It's changing our culture. So this is very unfortunate that it's happening. We're on the verge of collapse, and international support from India, support from the United Nations. These are very important, elements that we need to talk at this point, because now we're seeing that now Imran Khan is in power.
Yeah.
The next 5 years is going to be, what the military wants in Pakistan. I think the policies will be heavily influenced by the military. The relationship with India will be dictated by military. And that means, I think it's a status quo for Gilgit-Baltistan. And status quo is really bad for us.
Yeah.
We are getting eaten up by cancer slowly with no help. And if we come, to a stage where in the third stage of cancer, then obviously there's no point of return.
Yeah.
And we need to get rid of Pakistan before that.
Yeah, it's sort of unfortunate as well, because if you look at Kashmir, you look at, when I'm talking about Kashmir, of course, I'm talking about the entire state, including Gilgit-Baltistan. It is an area that could have probably been one of the richest areas in the world, owing to the mineral resources it has and owing to the insane tourism potential that it has. Like if we just look at, okay, just look at the Kashmir that's part of India right now. That area has an insane amount of tourism potential. The people of Kashmir could be very, very well to do simply based on the resources, the agriculture, and the tourism potential that that state has. But unfortunately, that has just not come to be because of the political and religious situation that exists in that area. So that's an unfortunate little paradox of its own, of the potential that these areas have. And on top of that, I also feel it's so strange that you have these people here with such an old rich culture, but they're so keen to associate themselves with people in Iran and Saudi Arabia. But when you go and you listen to the stories that come out of Saudi Arabia about the treatments that are meted out to people that move from Pakistan to Saudi Arabia and that go live and work there, and the way the Arabs treat people that are from South Asia, it's just amazing. It's just amazing that after being treated the way they are treated, they're still so keen to associate themselves with those people rather than their own old rich cultures. It's an,
Well,
it's an incredible thing.
I mean, they're keen because the people who dictate the terms in the society are men.
Yeah,
Men like what Saudi Arabia is doing to its women, right? Men like to control women. The Muslim men like to control minorities. The Muslim men like to control Shias and Ismailis. The Muslim men like to be a bully. So it does not, surprise me that they want to be like Saudi Arabia. All these children who come out of madrasa, they're essentially bullies who want to subdue women, control women, dictate terms to them, dictate terms to the Shias, dictate terms to the minorities, Ahmadis, Hindus. So this works in their favor. As far as tourism is concerned, tourism is picking up in Gilgit-Baltistan. The problem is that we don't have any structures, so most of the revenue ends up in Islamabad.
that's what I was wondering. Yeah,
That's a big problem right now. Islamabad gets a huge chunk out of the money that should come to us. Again, we don't have any infrastructure. That's another problem. Tourists come and then they don't know where to stay. Issues with sanitation, sewage, water, all other issues. As far as transit is concerned, I have always believed that if you open road from Kargil and Srinagar into a store and let the trade and transit go to Central Asia and Afghanistan, and then you also let Chinese, transit through Islamabad, for instance, right? Let's say it's all open for everyone. You don't have to dig your land to dig out the minerals to make money. That's enough money through trade and transit for everyone to get rich. But unfortunate issue is that Pakistan has not allowed local people to even charge even a single penny on Karakoram Highway and
wow.
toll. The Chinese don't pay any toll to the locals. Pakistanis don't pay any toll to the locals. Whereas if you look at Pakistan, for instance, Punjab and Islamabad and other areas, when you're moving from Lahore to Islamabad, you have to pay toll. You have to pay district toll, then you have to pay provincial toll, then you also have to pay toll to the private companies that run those toll booths. They make a lot of money, but in Gilgit-Baltistan, local people are not allowed to charge any toll. So China and Pakistan are getting free transit. Now imagine if we were getting money like this, a lot of our budget needs would have come from money and financing that the tourists would bring and trade and transit would bring. Now all these vehicles that travel to China, they go all the way to Kazakhstan. So you can imagine, everything is booming,
Right.
but very fewer benefits to the local people.
Yeah, yeah, again, that's an unfortunate situation as well. And it's interesting, and I apologize if I'm belaboring the point, but I was in one of the, I think it was a talk or an interview that I watched. I can't exactly remember, but you were talking about, people within Gilgit-Baltistan and within certain areas of Pakistan that were talking. I think you were talking about Akbar Bukti that said that something to the point of we've been here for around 5,000 years or something like that, and there's an understanding among certain quarters of the Pakistani people in different parts that there is this long history. Now, I'm not necessarily saying this is a Hindu history and you have to become Hindu or anything like that, but I'm just saying that there's this understanding that there's this old presence that is in there, a presence that goes beyond 600 AD. How do, generally speaking, how do I think the general population of Gilgit-Baltistan or the general population of Pakistan who have this knowledge, who have this understanding, how do they reconcile that with the history that's taught to them through the schools?
I mean, it's changing. It's very slow. Like people used to be proud, feel pride in what Mahmud Ghaznavi did to the temples, right? But now the educated people say, no, he was a terrorist. What he did to the temples is not, uh, you know, what humanity teaches us. He did the wrong thing. The relationship with India needs to be, talked about. We need to talk, more about that. We are essentially one house, one family, right? It's one civilization. If we to become one country administratively, I mean, legally, Gilgit-Baltistan is part of India constitutionally. But let's say if Pakistan, India, Bangladesh to become one country, we will be a far more viable country than, let's say, a bunch of these European countries trying to be a union and eventually merge into like one country. Despite the fact that there's peace and tranquility in Europe and openness, you can see there are huge problems there.
Yeah.
I think India, Pakistan, Bangladesh will not face those problems because of our same culture, same language, same identity. So I think a lot more needs to be talked about our common heritage, our common identity, our relationship with India. Like I see all these structures, like temples and Buddhist centers, and these are amazing piece of art and architecture that nobody talks about. Why? Because they're not told about that.
Right.
We look at European buildings that we are really proud of what Europeans have built, but like 3 or 4 or 5,000 years ago, what the Hindus built, all those masterpieces that we should be proud of, right?
I mean, you look at something like there's something that I feel like Pakistanis could take a lot of pride in if there was something that they wanted to acknowledge, was something like Takshashila, which was one of the premier universities of the ancient world. People from all across the world came to study there, and you don't have to say that. Oh, you don't even have to acknowledge that. Oh, it's a Hindu thing and it's this and that. But all you have to do is acknowledge that this is something great that our people produced in ancient times.
Yeah, so I was lucky. I was in Lahore and I grew up. I was taught in a school where we had very different books from the, compared to the kids who go to regular schools. So I learned a lot about our civilization when I was a young kid, about our past architecture, past, even in my middle school and primary school, we were lucky, were exposed to our ancient culture, and that completely changed me. And I started looking more and more into it, and then eventually, it gave me information about our relationship with Tibet, and then I started learning the script. It all depends on how you steer the kids at a very young age and in a certain direction, and then they build the whole foundation on that, right? So the way I think, the way I look at India as a home, as as a civilization, right? As we are part of it, we're just one body. Pakistani children are very unfortunate that they're not able to see that because they have been hammered with information which is fake, based on myths and unnatural relationship. Pakistanis for a few years they tried to call them some Central Asians.
Right.
There was no take on that. Then they called them Persians. There was no um, reciprocal behavior from those countries there. Then they wanted to call themselves Arabs. I'm sure now they would call themselves Chinese. I feel really sorry for them. It's a waste of land and resources and minds and intellectual energy. Imagine all that energy that is getting wasted. 200 million people just like कहते हैं ना हिंदी में कटी पतंग. You're not connected to your base. You have no idea where you're going. एक कटी पतंग की तरह पाकिस्तान है. और ये ऐसा ही रहेगा. There's no way to change it. क्यों? क्योंकि इन्होंने अपनी जो foundation है, they have stopped taking pride in that. They have stopped taking pride in their history. They have stopped taking pride in their base where they originate, right? Or they will be a laughing stock, and they are already a laughing stock. पूरी दुनिया इन पे हंसती है. इतना potential होने के बाद भी, the world laughs at them. They can't even produce a needle locally. इनके infrastructure, इनकी energy, इनकी industry, इनके cultural institutions, सारे जो हैं, they're in a perpetual, in a constant transit.
Yeah.
कटी पतंग ऐसा ही होता है ना. You're in constant transit. You're trying to find yourself. You can't find yourself because you have given up on and abandoned your own.
You're deliberately trying to hide from who you are. So it's impossible to find yourself if you're deliberately trying to
constant transit. And I feel sorry for them. Very sorry for them.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because this is, people, like you said, they're a laughing stock, but these are not stupid people inherently. These are people that, in the past have created works like the Vedas. These are people like the past that have produced great scholars and great scientists. So it's not like this is a silly nation of silly people. It's just they find themselves in a strange situation currently. And coming to the point that you were talking about, they try to associate themselves with the Central Asians and then the Arabs and then the Persians. I remember I was watching a cricket game. I think it was an India-Bangladesh cricket game, and there were more than 2 or 3 Bangladeshis there that had completely Arab names. There was something bin Salman, bin something. And I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, like, who in the world is looking at a Bangladeshi guy and thinking, yeah, no, this is Arab? Who takes that seriously? It's such an incredible thing that it's impossible not to look at it and chuckle a little bit.
Well, slave mentality. You want to look like your master, right? If you remember, I forgot the movie, but it's about American slavery, and there were slaves who really wanted to look like their masters, to just abandon their identity because it hurt them so much, right? It deprived them, it hurt them, and eventually they just wanted to give up on that and look like their masters, except they can't, because Arabs know that the Bengalis are Bengalis. They will always remain Bengalis.
Right.
Arabs don't give citizenship. They don't let you marry their women.
Yep.
So you can call yourself bin and bin, but eventually you still be a Bengali.
Yeah, exactly. And I also find it interesting because there's this talk coming to Gilgit-Baltistan and the dispute that currently exists. There's all this talk about from Pakistan that I hear that it is India that is holding up the UN process and they can't stop talking about the UN and its processes. But it's an interesting thing because nobody really talks about what the processes here are, and that what is holding this process up is is that one of the key conditions within this whole UN resolution is that Pakistan first needs to demilitarize the area that is currently POK and Gilgit-Baltistan. So they need to demilitarize the area, remove army presence from it, and then only that India needs to demilitarize it, but they can still keep some semblance of a military presence there to protect from any Pakistani attacks. So there's that key step that people often skip over when they talk about, oh, look, India is not holding up its end of the bargain. But I keep thinking that are people not bringing that up?
If you look at UN resolution and the details of the UN resolution, India has been asked to protect the local people, not withdraw. India has been accepted as a genuine legal stakeholder in Kashmir and has been asked to stay in Kashmir and protect the life and honor and assets of the local people. The assets and honor and life that has been ruined by Pakistan and its forces. Pakistan has been asked to withdraw completely. Its citizens has been asked to withdraw. Its soldiers have been asked to withdraw. Anyone who was there to fight from tribal areas has been asked to withdraw. So there's no comparison between India and Pakistan. India is a legal stakeholder. Pakistan is an occupier. Pakistan has been asked to withdraw. Now, the thing is that the UN resolution is a non-binding resolution. That means
Yes.
UN cannot enforce it. That's why I'm one of those who request India again and again that India need to work with the international community to just, remove this thing from the UN list of chores, right? It should not be there. This is a non-binding resolution. It only prolongs Pakistan's occupation, nothing else.
I'm in agreement with that. Yes.
And what is a binding resolution then? What is a binding document then? The binding document is the letter of accession. Why is it binding? Because it was accepted by the British in England, in London, by the British government, which was dividing the princely states between India and Pakistan. It was declared a binding document by the British themselves. And then Pakistan also accepted that. It has not denied that it doesn't exist. It has accepted that. So that is a binding document. The letter of accession to India. That's why I keep saying Gilgit-Baltistan, Ladakh, Punj, POK, AJK, whatever you call that, Jammu and Kashmir, they're all constitutional parts of India. Even those people who want freedom from India, let's say, they have to work with India.
Yeah.
There's no escape from that. In Gilgit-Baltistan, if they want political rights, they have to work with India. Working with Pakistan will give them temporarily, handouts, right? It will give them a day-to-day sustainability, just subsistence living. That's it. You cannot get your basic rights, constitutional rights from Pakistan. It has to come through India.
Yeah.
Same with AJK, POK. Even if you want, whether you want to be part of Pakistan, and this is very interesting what I'm mentioning here, even if you want to be part of Pakistan, you have to withdraw Pakistan first,
Yeah.
then work with India and convince India to let you go. There's no other way out.
Yeah.
The only way out is that if Pakistan wants to convert LOC into a border and somehow convince India to have a bilateral agreement on that, accepted by the international community, that's the only way Pakistan can keep Gilgit-Baltistan and POK. All other routes go nowhere. It's a dead end. It's a dead alley. Pakistan has to withdraw. We have to work with India. And that's also, even though United Nations resolution is a non-binding resolution, it makes it very clear that people of Gilgit-Baltistan, Pakistan has to withdraw from Gilgit-Baltistan, then people of Gilgit-Baltistan, they have to work with government in Srinagar and government in Delhi. We have to work with them to eventually get our rights. Irrespective of whether you want to be part of India or Pakistan, a free country, you still have to work with Delhi, not Pakistan. Pakistan has to withdraw. These are very clearly mentioned. There is no ambiguity about this. The problem is that Pakistan does not give enough information, does not let local people understand this issue, because then Pakistan itself, is on a very weak footing.
Well, they obviously don't want people to start thinking for themselves.
They know, as I said, it's in their mind. Pakistan is guilty that it's an occupier. So the only thing an occupier can do is prolong its stay in occupied land. That's the only thing it can continue to exploit without giving any benefit to the local people. So Pakistan thinks that it is in a best perfect situation where it get to exploit from Gilgit-Baltistan and does not have to give anything in return. And when local people make noises, they're like 20 or 30, chosen people, and they fill their pockets, and then everybody's quiet again. And it goes on. So with a very little, very small premium that Pakistan has to pay, very negligible premium, Pakistan gets to enjoy enormous amount of benefits.
Yes.
Right? So why would Pakistan end this dispute? Only a stupid Pakistani will end this dispute, first. Secondly, it is because of Kashmir's dispute that Pakistani military gets so much money. If you end the dispute, you will lose that money that you get in the name of Kashmir, the military, and you will also lose the benefit that you get from Baltistan and Gilgit, including Chinese access to China, right? This is a win-win for Pakistan to perpetually to keep this dispute alive till the end of the day when, let's say Qiyamah comes, right? The day of judgment. And what will happen to the Punjabis on that day, only God knows, right? We believe in day of judgment. But until then, Punjabis want to make sure that this dispute is alive and they can literally share, the benefits every year nonstop without giving any benefits to the local people.
Yeah.
The local people need to understand their relationship with India. There's a very strong legal relationship that even if the local people want, they cannot break. We are Indian citizens, just like Ladakhis, we are Indian citizens. Baltistan, Gilgit, and Ladakh, they fall under the same framework. Whatever the Ladakhis are getting from India right now, that is the right of Gilgit-Baltistan. You can't escape from that. You can run away from that. Or you can run away as long as you want.
But you can't escape it.
Yeah, but you can't escape it. You can run away and let Pakistan abuse you. And there's always the last straw, right? There's always a time when local people will say enough is enough. Let's talk to India. So I'm saying, why to go to that extent जब आपकी हड्डियों के ऊपर कुछ जो है ना मांस भी ना रह जाए, सब कुछ खत्म हो जाए, फिर आप बोल रहे हैं कि इंडिया से बात करो. क्या फायदा उस समय?
जब कुछ रह नहीं गया,
जब कुछ रह नहीं गया, जब आप 90% लोकल पॉपुलेशन पंजाबी हो जाए, पठान हो जाए, आपकी लोकल पॉपुलेशन 10% गिलगिती बल्ती रह जाए, राइट, अस्तोरी रह जाए, हुंजर नगर के 10% रह जाए सीपैक के नाम पर, जब चाइनीज वहां 5-6 लाख चाइनीज आ जाएं, जब आपका कल्चर खत्म हो जाए, जब आपके रिसोर्सेज खत्म, तब आप बोले यार अब चलो इंडिया से बात करते हैं क्योंकि लद्दाख तो बड़ा आराम से रह रहा है, हमें भी कुछ मिल जाए. And that is a stupid short-term, narrow-mindedness. And that's what I'm pushing. We need to talk to India right now, because you cannot push an exploiter and abuser on your own. दुनिया में कहीं भी कोई भी जो आपकी political movement होती है, isolated situation में framework में survive नहीं कर सकती है. It just dies out. You have to have international support, and the best international support can come from a country which consider you as its citizen and a constitutional part. And if nothing, at least we will get what Ladakh has.
Yeah.
कुछ भी नहीं तो देखे ना, पाकिस्तान में इस समय जो गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के लोग जो इवन पाकिस्तान का पार्ट बनना चाहते हैं, जैसे पीपल्स पार्टी वाले, वो भी कह रहे हैं कि यार if nothing, give us what Indians have given to the Kashmiris. And that is a huge slap on the face of Pakistan, because Pakistan's called Kashmir occupied, right? Or Amjad Advocate, who's the president of Pakistan People's Party, which is, I think now is going to be the second largest party after PTI coming into power, वो कह रहा है कि यार if nothing, give us what Indian Kashmiris and Ladakhis have. तो चलो इंडिया से बात करने से कुछ भी नहीं, एटलीस्ट आप वहां पे तो बेसलाइन एस्टेब्लिश करेंगे ना जो लद्दाख के पास है. लेकिन पाकिस्तान में आप रहेंगे, you will be turned and reduced into literally nobody.
Yeah.
Land will be gone, culture will be gone, identity will be gone, resources will be gone. The Pakistani Prime Minister can literally give away entire Gilgit-Baltistan to the Chinese now after that ordinance, right? So the international jo influence hai, it is very important, and especially it should come from India and United Nations ka jo issue hai, people need to understand. If it's a non-binding resolution, then we need to reassess कि हमें कश्मीर के resolution से मिलेगा क्या.
Even you look at somebody like, sorry, I don't know if my voice is echoing. I wonder if you're oh, there we go, it's gone now. Even if you look at something like how Israel and America treat these things, you know, they understand that, look, at the end of the day, we're going to look out for what is better for our countries, you know, because at the end of the day, UN is not going to come and take care of Israel. UN is not going to come and take care of the United States. And at the end of the day, we have to make sure that we take care of ourselves. So I think India needs to sort of realize that a little bit as well. कि ये UN का गाना गाना से at the end of the day क्या फायदा हो रहा है कश्मीर में?
I mean, it's a non-binding resolution, you know. For to start with,
yeah,
UN cannot enforce it if Pakistan is not willing to play the game, play the ball. And I've already explained why Pakistan is in a win-win situation in Kashmir and in Gilgit-Baltistan by prolonging the dispute, by not giving anything to locals and yet getting a huge share of resources and benefits and the share of the budget for the military. There's no way that Pakistan will kill, you know, the duck that lays the golden eggs. And we need to assess the people of Gilgit-Baltistan that politics is not about sacrificing for others. Politics is about taking care of your own interest and protecting them. And if Pakistan says, it's Pakistan's own constitution that says we're not part of Pakistan, if Pakistan's prime minister and military generals and chief ministers and governors and Pakistan's presidents and chief justices say Gilgit-Baltistan is not part of Pakistan, then it's stupid to sacrifice ourselves for a country that has no legal capacity or the moral will to eventually absorb us. Whereas on the other hand, you know, if you look at India, right, if you tell India, we want to be part of India, you will see that happiness on the face of the Indians. If you tell Pakistanis we want to be part of Pakistan, there's fear and concern on the face of Pakistanis. Why? Because Pakistanis want this dispute to live.
Right.
Becoming part of Pakistan will kill the dispute.
Right.
Kill that duck that lays the golden egg. That shows that Pakistan is not sincere to you. It's a dishonest country. It only wants to exploit you. So every time when you go and say, हमें आप अपना part बनाएं पाकिस्तान का, वो आपको कहते हैं आप traitor हैं.
That's it?
Yeah, you're a traitor. Why? Because you are working against a foreign policy.
Wow.
Right? If Gilgit-Baltistan is doing something that hurts Pakistan's Kashmir issue, that means Gilgit-Baltistan is hurting Pakistan's defense and foreign policy. You are a traitor.
Yeah.
They have no interest in absorbing us. They want to keep the dispute alive. On the other hand, if you talk to an Indian and say, आप हमें अपना part बनाएं, वो बोलेंगे आप हमारा part आज हैं, बनाए नहीं आप हैं.
बनाए नहीं.
You're already a legal part of India. All we have to do is extend constitutional rights to you, like the Ladakhis and the Jammu and Kashmir have. So it's not just about legal issues. It's also about the mindset.
Yep.
पाकिस्तानीज़ को बहुत डर लगता है कि यार इशू खत्म हो जाएगा, गिलगित हमारा हो जाएगा, तो हम क्या करेंगे भाई? कश्मीर इशू सॉल्व हो जाएगा, तो आपको पहला काम क्या करना पड़ेगा? इंडिया से बॉर्डर खोलना पड़ेगा. इंडिया से बॉर्डर खोलेंगे, ट्रांजिट खोलेंगे, लद्दाख बल्तिस्तान को मिलने देंगे, तो कश्मीर इशू सॉल्व होने के बाद एक तो वो सारा बजट चला गया, और फिर सेम कल्चर है, सेम सिविलाइजेशन है, आप उनको अलग भी नहीं रख सकेंगे।
और दूसरी बात ये है कि भाई फिर उनका ध्यान भी रखना पड़ेगा, जो गिलगित बल्टिस्तानी है
तो राइट्स देने पड़ेंगे।
उनको रिप्रेजेंटेशन देना पड़ेगा।
जब आप उनके मिनरल्स उठाएंगे तो उनको रिटर्न में राइट्स देने पड़ेंगे, राइट? जब आप उनको एब्जॉर्ब करेंगे। अभी आपको पता नहीं है शायद कि इंडस का जो वाटर है वो फ्लो कर रहा है पाकिस्तान में, उसकी रॉयल्टी होती है सिर्फ पानी फ्लो करने की। आप उसको एक्सप्लॉइट ना करें, सिर्फ पानी जो चल रहा है ना उसकी रॉयल्टी होती है। मोर देन 30 बिलियन रुपीस रॉयल्टी इज पेड फॉर द फ्लो ऑफ वाटर टू केपीके प्रोविंस, खैबर पख्तूनख्वा।
वाओ।
या सिर्फ पानी के चलने की रॉयल्टी 30 बिलियन रुपीस से ज्यादा प्रोविंस लेता है। पंजाब अलग रॉयल्टी लेता है, सिंध अलग रॉयल्टी लेता है। पानी के फ्लो की, अपर राइपेरियन लोअर राइपेरियन के जो रिलेशनशिप होते हैं उसमें इन्होंने इंडस रिवर सिस्टम अथॉरिटी जो बनाया है, इरसा, और नेशनल हाइड्रो इलेक्ट्रिक बोर्ड है इनका, एक नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन है, ये सारा डिटरमिन करता है किसको कितना रॉयल्टी जाना है। Gilgit-Baltistan for the last 70 years, even though for more than 500 kilometers इंडस हमारे से गुजर के आ रहा है, नॉट अ सिंगल पेनी ऑफ रॉयल्टी।
वाह।
ये सारा आपको देना पड़ेगा।
हाँ।
आप डैम बनाएंगे उसकी रॉयल्टी देनी पड़ेगी। तो पाकिस्तान इतना कंसर्न हो जाता है जब आप बोलते हैं हमें आप अपने साथ शामिल करें। यही जो एक पॉइंट है, इट शुड बी एन आई ओपनर फॉर पीपल ऑफ गिलगित बल्तिस्तान कि दे लुक एट अस एज अ प्रोस्टिट्यूट जिसको सिर्फ एक्सप्लॉइट किया जा सकता है, लेकिन इक्वल ह्यूमन या इक्वल पार्टनर के तौर पर ट्रीट नहीं किया जा सकता। इसी से ही आपको पाकिस्तान को छोड़ देना चाहिए, इसी एक बात पे। आई मीन इंडिया का रिलेशनशिप जो है वो प्योरली लीगल रिलेशनशिप है, पाकिस्तान का प्योरली फिजिकल एक्सप्लॉइटेटिव रिलेशनशिप है। दिस इज अ स्टेटस को दैट इज नेवर गोइंग टू चेंज इफ वी कंटिन्यू टू से कि हमने पाकिस्तान के साथ रहना है।
Wow.
That is what I want people to understand.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point that you make that I think people really need to understand. What did you think of when Modi ji was talking about, I think he brought up Gilgit-Baltistan in his Independence Day speech. I think it was last year or 2016. I can't really remember. But he brought up Balochistan, he brought up Gilgit-Baltistan as well.
It was a good start, but I think a lot needs to be done. For
I
instance,
agree.
I give you an example. अभी देखें कश्मीर ने एक हुर्रियत कॉन्फ्रेंस बनाया, right? Hurriyat Conference has the legal right to talk to India in Delhi and then Islamabad. Gilgit-Baltistan should have the same right. अगर हम इंडिया को और यूनाइटेड नेशंस भी इंडिया को एक लीगल स्टेक होल्डर कहता है, हमारा लीगल राइट हम उनसे डायरेक्ट बात करें विदाउट पाकिस्तान इंटरफेयरिंग, ये हमारा लीगल राइट है, ये हमारा बेसिक बर्थ राइट है। इसको पाकिस्तान हमसे ले नहीं सकता, छीन नहीं सकता है। इसके लिए इंडिया को कोशिश करनी चाहिए। दे शुड वर्क ऑन दैट। द इंटरनेशनल कम्युनिटी शुड पुट प्रेशर ऑन पाकिस्तान कि सिर्फ कश्मीरी क्यों हुर्रियत बनकर पाकिस्तान से बात कर रहे हैं। व्हाई नॉट पीओके एंड एजेके? पीओके एंड एजेके शुड फॉर्म देयर ओन बॉडी with representatives from each district and then talk to India, talk to the UN directly, talk to India directly without Pakistan's interference. ये सबसे बड़ा वीकनेस है इंडिया का, जिसकी वजह से अभी तक कुछ नहीं हो पा रहा है।
I agree.
इंडिया का एक लीगल स्टैंस है, एक लीगल उसका एक पोजीशन है, इट हैज अ चेयर ऑन द टेबल, और वो गिलगित बल्तिस्तान को वो चेयर डिनाई हो रही है बिकॉज ऑफ इंडियाज वीकनेसेस।
I agree. I agree. And
उसने
sorry, go ahead.
फुल एक थ्रॉटल रखा हुआ है कश्मीर वैली के ऊपर। क्यों? अगर फोकस कश्मीर वैली पे रहेगा तो कभी जम्मू को, लद्दाख को, बल्तिस्तान को सोचने का, फोकस करने का किसी को, I mean, nobody would pay attention to that, right?
Yeah.
That is what we need to change.
Yep.
Kashmir by land is less than 10% of the total land mass of JNK. Kashmir by population is less than 35% of the total JNK. This is like, unbelievable. Because in 70 years, they have attracted and benefited from so much attention because of India's weakness, and that needs to change. And how are we going to change that? By establishing Gilgit-Baltistan, establishing a direct relationship with India and the United Nations, not through Islamabad. Islamabad का जो है ना गेम जो है अब सबको पता चल गई है. And we, the people in Gilgit-Baltistan, We need to look at this option very seriously कि पाकिस्तान ने हमें एज अ प्रोस्टिट्यूट यूज करना है, दैट्स इट। उसने हमसे फिजिकल बेनिफिट्स लेने हैं विदाउट एनी self respect, without any respect that a partner has, is due to, right? Usko due hai, or without any equality as a human to human relationship में जो होता है, right? पाकिस्तान का रिलेशनशिप सिर्फ ये है कि वो हमें कमोडिटी समझते हैं, वो हमें एक ऐसी चीज समझते हैं, ह्यूमन नहीं, जिससे बेनिफिट किया जा सके। कैनन फॉडर हैं, हम उनके लिए लड़ते हैं, हमारे
कैश काउ।
कैश काउ। ये हमारे सोल्जर्स जो हैं वो सारा दिन उनके लिए लड़ते हैं और मरते हैं विदाउट सिटीजनशिप। कैन यू इमेजिन दैट? फॉर 70 years कोई भी इस पाकिस्तान का सिटीजन नहीं है। इवन अमेरिका में जब साउथ अमेरिकन आते हैं मिलिट्री ज्वाइन करने, तो उनको सिटीजनशिप मिल जाती है। पाकिस्तान गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के लोगों को विदाउट सिटीजनशिप लड़ाता है, मारता है, सिर्फ 20-30 हजार रुपए पर मंथ सैलरी पर। दैट इज अ ट्रांजैक्शनल एटीट्यूड, जिसको मैं कहता नहीं प्रोस्टिट्यूट की तरह में रखा। पैसे दो काम करो, पैसे दो काम करो। इससे बढ़ के और कोई रिलेशनशिप हमारा उनके साथ बन ही नहीं सकता है। तो ये हमें बहुत क्लियरली अब सोचना है कि इतने there's so much to learn, right? Legal issues, our relationship with the rest of the world. We need to come out of this well. ये जो कुएं में हम फंसे हैं ना पाकिस्तान के, we need to breathe the fresh air, and we need to look at India, look at rest of the world, look at how our situation can change. और ये उस वक्त तक नहीं हो सकता जब तक हम ये सोचना छोड़ दें कि जी हम सब कुछ अपने ओन पे करेंगे।
हाँ, that's very true. And I think that you're right also about the fact that there's been a certain amount of apathy on the part of India, and on the part of Indian people as well. Every now and then ye thoda halla machayenge, and after that everybody goes quiet. But I have been noticing that over the past couple of years, there's been a legitimate attempt among Indians to raise this issue more and more. And I am hoping that come the next election cycle, come 2019, this actually becomes a part of the campaign. That look, it is time. It has been a long time that we have lived in this doldrums-like situation, and it is time that we look for a permanent solution to this situation. Because for the two countries and for the people that are living in that area, this is not a good situation either way. I mean, you said that it's a great situation for Pakistan, which it is, but I think for India and the people that are living in these areas, it is not a good situation at all. So
what I see with India is that there's so much that we share with India.
Yeah.
For instance, and you will be surprised the way I will put it. हम चाहते हैं करगिल रोड खुल जाए. We are obsessed with that. India is obsessed with that.
Yeah.
Pakistan is exactly opposite to that. पाकिस्तान चाहता है जितना देर तक करगिल रोड बंद रख सके करे. हम चाहते हैं लद्दाख और बल्तिस्तान के जो डिवाइडेड फैमिलीज हैं वो आपस में मिल पड़े. India wants that. Pakistan is exactly opposite to that. हम चाहते हैं कि करगिल लद्दाख से ट्रेड हो all the way अफगानिस्तान तक जाए. Pakistan is exactly opposite to that. It opposes it. India is in favor of what we think. I find Gilgit-Baltistan and India on the same page. हम चाहते हैं टेररिज्म खत्म हो, इंडिया चाहता है टेररिज्म खत्म हो. पाकिस्तान is exactly opposite to that. हम चाहते हैं डेमोग्राफिक चेंज ना हो गिलगित बल्तिस्तान में, इंडिया चाहता है गिलगित बल्तिस्तान में डेमोग्राफिक चेंज ना हो. पाकिस्तान इज एग्जैक्टली अपोजिंग इट, राइट? हम चाहते हैं हमारे रिसोर्सेज हमारे पास ऑटोनॉमी हो, जिस तरह इंडियन कश्मीर में. इंडिया चाहता है हमारे रिसोर्सेज हमारे पास हो, पाकिस्तान के पास हो. पाकिस्तान अपोज दैट. जो हम चाहते हैं हमारी जबान जो है वो स्कूलों में पढ़ाई जाए. इंडिया लव्स दैट आइडिया कि लोकल लैंग्वेजेस लोकल कल्चर्स जो है उनको प्रमोट किया जाए. Pakistan is exactly opposite to that. पाकिस्तान कहता है either उर्दू और nothing. Even पंजाबियों को स्कूल में पंजाबी नहीं पढ़ाते यार ये लोग.
ये कमाल है. हाँ.
ये रूलिंग क्लास है, ये अपनी लैंग्वेज नहीं पढ़ते. इतनी शर्म आती है इनको अपनी लैंग्वेज से. यानी इस हद तक इन्फीरियरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स में फंसे हुए लोग हैं, और हम इतने बदकिस्मत और कर्स्ड लोग हैं कि हम इनके कब्जे में आए हुए हैं. इनको अपने वजूद से, अपने एग्जिस्टेंस से शर्म आती है. पाकिस्तानी पंजाबी को अपने वजूद से शर्म आती है. मैं छोटा था, लाहौर में रहता था, तो बच्चों को माँ कहती थी पंजाबी में बात मत किया करो, सिर्फ उर्दू बोला करो। और
Wow.
ये वो हैं जो प्योर पंजाबी हैं, कोई उर्दू सेटलर नहीं है, पंजाबी हैं, वो कहते थे उर्दू बोला करो। इनको अपने वजूद से शर्म आती है। तो कहने का मकसद है कि इंडिया और गिलगित बल्तिस्तान इज ऑन द सेम पेज when it comes to cultural development, when it comes to resources and transit routes and opening the trade routes and letting the divided families meet with each other. I never see anything, you know, not just constitutionally but conceptually, like कोई भी ऐसी चीज जो कि कॉन्ट्रडिक्ट करती हो, जिसमें कि आप ये सोचें कि यार इंडिया जो है वो पाकिस्तान से ज्यादा हमें नुकसान दे सकता है। कभी मैं इतने साल हो गए मेरी स्टडी को, और सोच सोच के मैं कभी भी इस चीज को मैं नहीं देख पाया। I can't find it. I just can't find a concrete evidence which will lead me to believe that India will be harmful to Gilgit-Baltistan
Yeah.
compared to what Pakistan is doing to us.
Yeah.
So कहने का मकसद है कि we all need to wake up from the deep slumber. जितना हम टाइम वेस्ट करते जाएंगे, पाकिस्तान ने पिछले 2-3 साल में जो रिसोर्स एक्सप्लॉयटेशन है उसको बहुत ज्यादा तेज कर दिया। There's a rapid, there's speedy infrastructure development going on, but in the name of infrastructure building, आप देखेंगे कि वो सारा का सारा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर जो बन रहा है वो चाइनीज के लिए बन रहा है। आप कभी शिगर चले जाएं, आप कभी खबलू की तरफ चले जाएं, आप कभी गिजर चले जाएं, अशकुमन की तरफ चले जाएं, यासिन आप चले जाएं, दारेल तांगेर में या आप चले जाएं, आपको पता लगेगा कि ये सारा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर स्ट्रेटेजिक पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से बन रहा है। आम जनता की, आम आवाम की के लिए नहीं बन रहा। अगर आम आवाम के लिए होता तो ये पॉलिसी यूनिफॉर्म होती। ये सारा का सारा खर्चा इंडस के साथ साथ और हुंजा रिवर के साथ साथ जो हो रहा है, ये सारा चाइना के लिए हो रहा है। और वंस द फ्लड गेट्स ओपन, उसके बाद आप you will be drowned, and once you're drowned, nobody will be able to hear your voice.
That's such an important one as well. That's such an important one as well that I think people don't realize is you see more and more and more influence of the Chinese within Pakistan and more control that they're asserting over Pakistan and its affairs. And like you said, when those floodgates open, when China comes back and truly comes for its pound of flesh, then जो भी बची कुछ ऑटोनॉमी अभी है गिलगित बल्टिस्तान वो भी गई।
लेकिन तो, श्रीलंका ने तो अपना पोर्ट दे दिया ना, जब 6% 7% उसको इंटरेस्ट रेट अफोर्ड नहीं हो सका। तो पाकिस्तान क्या देगा? वो तो गिलगित देगा ना सबसे पहले। पाकिस्तान के लिए कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है कि गिलगित जो है चाइना के कंट्रोल में चला जाए। प्रॉब्लम लोकल लोगों के लिए है। और ये हमें सोचना है कि हमें पाकिस्तान को by any means necessary कैसे निकालना है।
Yeah. When you say, sorry, go ahead.
Please.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, please go ahead.
Oh, okay. No, I was just thinking because earlier when you said ki, you see sort of in India, Pakistan together as a much more viable solution than the European Union is today. Tariq Fateh, he mentioned something similar as well, that what he foresees for the future of this area of the subcontinent is he foresees something like a EU-like structure where there's you have Balochistan and you have whatever is Pakistan left, and then you have India and then Bangladesh, like an EU-like sort of structure. Is that what you meant, or did you mean it as a more sort of singular entity?
I believe that if Sindh and Balochistan have a way today, they should break away from Pakistan and join India. आपका EU structure तो उस वक्त होगा ना जब पीस होगा।
हाँ, very true.
पाकिस्तान एक ऐसा कैंसर है, उसकी मिलिट्री एक ऐसी कैंसर है, वो कभी भी पीस नहीं होने देगा। तो आप EU को बनाएंगे कैसे? EU तो तब होगा ना, एक पासपोर्ट तो तब होगा जब पाकिस्तान बोलेगा हम साउथ एशिया का हिस्सा हैं। वो तो कहता है हम सेंट्रल एशियन हैं, फिर कहता है हम पर्शियन है, फिर कहते हैं हम अरब हैं, फिर आजकल वो टर्किश बोल रहा होगा। टर्किश नहीं बोलेगा तो चाइनीज बोले। कहने का मकसद है कि पाकिस्तान की आर्मी जो है वो एक ऐसा प्रॉब्लम है कि वो ईयू नहीं बनने देगा। सिंध बलोचिस्तान हैव टू ब्रेक अप एंड जस्ट जॉइन इंडिया एंड गेट मैक्सिमम ऑटोनॉमी। ईयू तो उस समय बनता है जब आपने सारी वॉर्स लड़ी, वॉर खत्म हो गई, जर्मनी, फ्रांस और इंग्लैंड ने लड़ना बंद कर दिया, और फिर आपने बोला कि लेट्स सिट टुगेदर। Pakistan army will never let that happen. You just saw what happened in Ghazni in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
More than 150 Pakistani dead bodies are waiting to be returned or returned.
Right.
पाकिस्तान का धंधा, उसका बिजनेस ही मार है, ब्लड है, the blood money that they're after. You know, a soldier, he knows how to kill.
Yes.
He doesn't know how to cultivate a farm. He doesn't know how to work in industry. पाकिस्तान इज इन दिस perpetual situation where उसको पता नहीं है कि अगर हमने 2 मिलियन की आर्मी के धंधा बंद कर दिया खाएंगे कहां से। चलो इंडिया में तो आर्मी है ना, पाकिस्तान में आर्मी के साथ मिलियंस ऑफ मिलिटेंट्स हैं। ये जितने भी मौलवी बनाते हैं आप, हर मौलवी के लिए उसको लिए जॉब देने के लिए आप मस्जिद तो नहीं बना सकते ना। समीउल हक ने क्या कहा था, 5 मिलियन हमारे पास सोल्जर्स हैं, या 5 लाख या ऐसा कुछ उसने कहा था।
आई थिंक 5 लाख या कुछ कहा था, या 50 लाख कहा था। आई थिंक
5 मिलियन है या 5 लाख, 50 लाख, 50 लाख हो गया 5 मिलियन, राइट? 50 लाख कुछ भी कहा होगा। What he was trying to say is that we have enough people to stand around as a military, right?
Yes.
इन सबको पाकिस्तान कहां से खिलाएगा? क्या सबको एक एक मस्जिद बना के देगा जहां मौलवी बनेगा? आई डोंट थिंक सो। ये एक ऐसे सिस्टम में फंस गया है कि ये कभी ईयू नहीं बनने देगा। I used to believe in that. I'm evolving just like any other person. I used to believe that open borders is a possibility. I used to believe that Pakistan will change. I used to believe that Ladakh and Gilgit-Baltistan could be united culturally, right? Borders could be open. अब ये आहिस्ता आहिस्ता excuse me, it's dawning on us. Imran Khan ka jeetna, military ka complete control over institutions, increase in interference in Kashmir and Afghanistan. It's a cyclic process. ये जो इंडिया में कुछ बेवकूफ लोग बैठे हैं वो देखते हैं कि when it's the downturn of the cycle, they think things are changing. Things are not changing. It's a cycle. It's going down and it's coming back, going down and coming back. Why? Because just like any other machine, Pakistani military and the terrorists, they also need time to restructure themselves, time to rest, and then they regroup with extra energy, with new, rejuvenation, and then they start again. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. It's a never-ending cycle. पाकिस्तान से जान छुड़ाना ही हम सबके फायदे में है। ये इमरान खान के आने के बाद और ये जो मिलिट्री जो कर रही है, और फिर ऑर्डिनेंस 2018 के बाद गिलगित में एक पूरी तरह से अब क्लियर हो गया मेरे ऊपर कि हमें इससे जान छुड़ानी बाय एनी मींस नेसेसरी। कोई यूरोपियन यूनियन जो है, एक फंक्शनिंग यूरोपियन यूनियन, इस मिलिट्री की इंटरफेरेंस और इसकी जो जितना इसको लेवरेज है पाकिस्तान में, इसके होते हुए इम्पॉसिबल है।
Do you see, some people believe that, sort of the process of self-determination when it comes to Balochistan is the first step or the first domino that sort of needs to fall, after which Pakistan might realize is that यार ये terror और ये army hegemony से कुछ मिला तो है नहीं, Balochistan यूं ही अलग हो गया, and if the day Balochistan becomes...
Did they learn from Bangladesh?
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Right? देखिए, पहली बात है, there is no self-determination in Balochistan. By British partition law, जब letter of accession पाकिस्तान को मिल गया और बलोचिस्तान उसका constitutional part बन गया, अब वहां पे कोई self-determination नहीं है. They need to just break away. वहां को voting हो के कोई civilized manner में ये कोई स्कॉटलैंड नहीं है, ये कोई
No, no, that's what I meant when I said self-determination. I meant break away as a different country.
कोई सेल्फ डिटर्मिनेशन नहीं है, ये सिंपल एक ब्रेक अवे है। ये जान छुड़ानी है कैंसर से जो अभी आपको पूरी तरह खा नहीं पाया है, एंड दैट टाइम इज कमिंग रियल सून।
Do you really think so?
रियल सून, या ये जो सी पैक है और पाकिस्तान और रशिया और चाइना, दीज कमिंग टुगेदर, पाकिस्तान इज गेटिंग अ न्यू लाइफ।
Hmm.
ये आपका क्या ख्याल है, ये अफगानिस्तान में ऐसा क्यों कर पाया है?
Hmm.
दे आर गेटिंग अ न्यू लाइफ। इनको नई गारंटीज मिल रही हैं जो 9/11 के बाद अमेरिका ने दे दी। यानी इसको अब नई गारंटीज मिल रही हैं और इसमें माइनॉरिटीज ने, गिलगित बल्तिस्तान ने, बलूचिस्तान ने तबाह हो जाना है।
Hmm.
इट्स डू और डाई की सिचुएशन है पाकिस्तान के लिए।
Hmm.
और ये जो नई गारंटीज हैं इसमें आप देखेंगे कि ये ट्रेंड है, ये उसी डायरेक्शन में चलता जाएगा।
Hmm.
I don't think Balochistan is a case of civilized self-determination और UN के पास। इनको ब्रेक अवे करना चाहिए और इनको अपने आप को बचाना चाहिए हर तरीके से।
How do you see that happening, though? What's
But
the
they need
time
to
frame? How
interact
do
with
you?
the community and they need to talk to them. They need to unite. They need to unite and like उनको उस कुएं से अपना सर निकालना है। गिलगित बल्तिस्तान को और बलूचिस्तान को जिस कुएं में बैठे हैं उससे सर निकालना है, और they need to go and ask for international help. जुपिटर पे जाना पड़े, सैटर्न पे जाना पड़े, आपको हेल्प लेके जान छुड़ानी है। एक पॉलिटिकल फ्रंट क्रिएट करना है और आपने डिप्लोमेटिकली जो है ना, जिस तरह इराक में हुआ, पीपल वर सो डेस्परेट कि उन्होंने अपना एक ग्रुप बनाया और पूरी दुनिया के पास गए and eventually made it happen, right? They made it happen. And
True.
that things can happen. गिलगित बल्तिस्तान और बलूचिस्तान के मेजॉरिटी लोग सोचते हैं कि यार ये कभी होने वाला नहीं है, ये
हाँ.
बातें हैं, हम अपने कमरों में बैठ के फेसबुक पे करने वाली गप है। लेकिन थिंग्स डू हैपन। वी हैव सीन इन द लास्ट 15-20 इयर्स कितने मुल्क बन गए हैं, कितनी रिजीम्स चेंज हुई हैं, कितने मुल्क टूट गए हैं, राइट? कितने देश टूट गए हैं। थिंग्स कैन हैपन।
Hmm.
आपको सिर्फ एक रास्ते का, फ्रेमवर्क का, एक सिस्टम का पता होना चाहिए। एंड दैट्स व्हाई आई सजेस्ट कि गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के लोगों को इंडिया को एज एन एनिमी देखना छोड़ देना चाहिए। आप उसके एक सिटीजन हैं और आपको ये जानना चाहिए कि आप पाकिस्तान के कभी सिटीजन नहीं बन सकते। और आपको कुछ भी नहीं मिलेगा तो वो तो मिलेगा जो लद्दाख को मिल रहा है इस समय।
Hmm.
ठीक है, चाइना के जो लोग, अगर आप इंडिया में होते गिलगित बल्तिस्तान, तो क्या चाइना इस तरह आके अपनी मर्जी से जो कुछ करता वो कर पाता? नहीं होना था।
आप अभी देख लो ये डोकलाम में ही, which is not even essentially part of India, it's in Bhutan, but वहां पे भी because of the closeness that India and Bhutan share, India was still able to stand its ground, and at least they engaged the Chinese there rather than what's happening in Gilgit-Baltistan where
लेकिन
the Chinese are having their way.
हमारा जो रास्कम और अगिल के जो वैलीज थे, जब माओ त्से-तुंग का 1949 में उसका सिस्टम आया and he expanded his communist regime into Tibet and in Xinjiang and he occupied those valleys. ये 1949 में तो हम पाकिस्तान के ऑलरेडी ऑक्यूपेशन में थे, पाकिस्तान ने कुछ नहीं कहा। आई थिंक वो कुछ कर भी नहीं सकता था अगेंस्ट चाइना। एंड देन अगेन जब वो शासकम के लिए आया, राइट, और शिमशाल के लिए आया, पाकिस्तान फिर भी कुछ नहीं कर सका। It is fully dependent on China. It is the only friend left in the world, right? और ये चाइना को जितना कंसेशन दे सकता है अपने आप को जिंदा रखने के लिए देगा, और वो कंसेशन गिलगित बल्तिस्तान में आएगा, वो बलूचिस्तान में आएगा। तो we need to really wake up from our idealism. सर्वाइवल जो होता है ना, वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, और आइडियलिज्म जो है ना, वो उसका सबसे बड़ा दुश्मन होता है। प्रैक्टिकलिटी नहीं है ना आइडियलिज्म में।
True.
तो गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के लोगों को आइडियलिज्म से बाहर आना चाहिए। कोई ईरान आपकी हेल्प नहीं करेगा, कोई सऊदी अरब आपकी हेल्प नहीं करेगा।
They don't consider you as one of them at all.
ईरान तो कहता है भाई आप पाकिस्तान इंडिया से बात करें, हमारा कुछ नहीं लेना। इस वक्त बहुत से शिया हैं, वो बैठे हैं जी, पता नहीं इमाम मेहदी आएंगे और हेल्प करेंगे। यू हैव टू डू इट योरसेल्फ, वी नीड टू डू इट आवरसेल्फ। ये आइडियलिज्म से निकलना पड़ेगा, हमें करना पड़ेगा। और अगर नहीं करना है तो फिर चुपचाप हमें सुसाइड करना चाहिए। खामखा सारा दिन ये जो शोर करते हैं ना, सड़कों पे प्रोटेस्ट करते हैं, ये करते हैं, वो करते हैं, इट इज लाइक इन अ बॉक्स, यू नो, इट्स इन अ वैक्यूम। ये कहीं नहीं जा रहा है। You need to connect yourself with the international community. You need to connect yourself with India. अगर आप फिजिकली नहीं कनेक्ट कर सकते क्योंकि पाकिस्तान आपको कत्ल करता है, पाकिस्तान आपको जेल में डालता है, आप इस वक्त जितने भी लोग जो है ना वो इंडिया की बात अगर करें भी तो उनके ऊपर टेररिज्म चार्ज लगता है, आपको शायद पता हो या ना हो।
हाँ, हाँ,
इवन फ्रीडम की जो बात करें, इंडिया की नहीं, फ्रीडम की बात करें, उनके ऊपर टेररिज्म चार्जेस हैं, वो जेल में हैं। लेकिन इमोशनली एंड साइकोलॉजिकली यू नीड टू चेंज योरसेल्फ। मैं ये कहता हूँ, फिजिकली अगर आप लिमिटेड कैपेबिलिटी है, अभी हेल्पलेस है, इमोशनली एंड साइकोलॉजिकली यू नीड टू चेंज एंड आइडेंटिफाई योर एनिमी। इफ यू डू नॉट आइडेंटिफाई योर रियल एनिमी, जिसने मजहब के नाम पे आपको इतना कत्ल किया, लेकिन अब जाके गिलगित में लोगों को अब जाके पता लग रहा है कि जितने शिया मारे थे वो पाकिस्तान की आर्मी के पाले हुए लोगों ने मारे थे।
wow,
अदरवाइज इन द 80s एंड 90s दे यूज्ड टू थिंक कि इंडिया कर रहा है।
wow.
So if you do not know how to identify your enemy, then death is your destiny, right? और उसको कोई नहीं रोक सकता है। फिर तो आपको चुपचाप मरना चाहिए।
Hmm.
लेकिन अगर आप मरना नहीं चाहते तो आप अपने एनिमी को आइडेंटिफाई करें और एटलीस्ट इमोशनली एंड साइकोलॉजिकली सोचें कि इंडिया ने आपके साथ क्या किया है, 70 सालों में पाकिस्तान ने क्या किया है। एटलीस्ट इतना तो आप सोच सकते हैं।
Very true.
ये जो सारा आपका मीडिया का रेटरिक है और पाकिस्तान की टेक्स्ट बुक का रेटरिक है, आपको पता है हमारा अपना टेक्स्ट बुक बोर्ड भी नहीं है। हमारी बुक्स पंजाब टेक्स्ट बुक बोर्ड से आती हैं।
Wow.
70 ईयर्स में गिलगित बल्तिस्तान को, जिसको ये लोग कहते हैं प्रोविंस है, झूठ बोलते हैं, इसका जो बुक्स है वो पंजाब टेक्स्ट बुक बोर्ड से आ रही हैं। तो जो कुछ गन बला ये सिखाते हैं स्टूडेंट्स को, इनका ब्रेन वॉश करते हैं, अब बड़े होकर इनको सोचना चाहिए कि 70 साल में हमें नुकसान किसने दिया है,
Hmm.
हमें मारा किसने है, और लद्दाख के लोग, करगिल के लोग इंडिया से इतनी मोहब्बत क्यों करते हैं। यू नीड टू रियली वेक अप, अदरवाइज यू नो चुपचाप मर जाएं, इट इज ओके, बिकॉज इवेंचुअली somebody has to, everyone has to die, right?
Right.
Yeah, so might as well just wait for death. हम ये प्रोटेस्ट करके अपना टाइम वेस्ट करके, यू नीड टू पिक अप अ डायरेक्शन जिसमें आप अपने एनिमी को आइडेंटिफाई करके उसको हरा सकें। एक हेल्पलेस आदमी की तरह दिन रात चीखने चलाने से प्रॉब्लम दूर नहीं होती है, राइट? अगर आपके पाँव में कोई चोट आई है, कमरे में बैठ के आप रोते रहें, वो चोट खत्म नहीं होती है। You need to go to the doctor and get rid of that illness or disease or that infection. हमारे लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, कमरे में बैठ के रो रहे हैं कि जी वी हैव सिकनेस, वी हैव इलनेस। दे हैव गॉन टू दैट पॉइंट, उससे आगे ये सोचते नहीं है। शोर करने से आपकी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व नहीं होती है। यू नीड टू आइडेंटिफाई द एनिमी एंड ट्राई टू गेट रिड ऑफ इट। इस वक्त हमारे लोग जेलों में इसलिए हैं क्योंकि इंडिविजुअली कुछ लोग शोर करते हैं, कुछ नहीं करते हैं। वी नीड टू राइज अप एज अ नेशन। जब when you rise as a nation, and it's the same message of the Baloch, when you rise as a nation, फिर पंजाब को उस तरीके से हमें मारना इतना आसान नहीं होगा। If you look at the Pashtun, they are doing it, right?
Hmm.
They were letting the Punjabis kill them, and after the Pashtun Tahaffuz movement, they are now rising up as a nation. And it's an evolution. It's a process that will take some time, but they are in the right direction. Baloch and Gilgit-Baltistan need to do that.
So in your experience, finally, just to kind of wrap up our conversation, in your experience, in what you've learned and in what you've seen, how optimistic are you of that development?
I'm very optimistic.
Really?
I've never been this optimistic, and I'm not joking. ये जो international realignment हो रही है ना, इसमें जो हमारे exploiters हैं, वो एक तरफ हो रहे हैं,
Hmm.
और जिनकी हेल्प लेके हम जान छुड़ा सकते हैं वो एक तरफ हो रहे हैं। And that is a beautiful thing that's happening. And I think we need to really study that deeply. And I'm very optimistic that things are going to happen in my lifetime.
Oh, that's incredible. I think you have a point as well, because I think that's why, some people say, why is Modi's second term so important? I think it's important because even though there might not have been very significant movement on these fronts, but he's one of those people that, in my opinion, at least recognizes these things, what you're saying. He recognizes these linkages, and he has actually worked within his first term to cultivate these linkages better, because he knows that this is something that is going to come to fruition in the longer term.
I mean, India is the base, you know. ये जो छोटे छोटे मुल्क बने ना साउथ एशिया में, ये सैटेलाइट्स हैं. इंडिया इज द बेस. एवरीबडी कम्स बैक टू द मदरलैंड, राइट? ये सिविलाइजेशन की जो बेस है, India has to look at itself as that base, and you know, see the broad picture. Eventually, जो marginalized लोग हैं पाकिस्तान में, उनको इंडिया की हेल्प चाहिए. बांग्लादेश में जब टेररिज्म आता है, वो इंडिया की हेल्प लेता है. आज बांग्लादेश के जीडीपी पाकिस्तान से बहुत अच्छा है. पर कैपिटा पाकिस्तान से अच्छा है, despite the fact that it doesn't have any resources. Why? It has been able to control terrorism with help of India and let its industry work and manufacturing work and not disrupt that system.
True.
हेल्प इंडिया से आ रही है ना. हम लोग गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के लोगों का सबसे बड़ा जो हम विक्टिम है, वो टेररिज्म के विक्टिम है, आइडेंटिटी लॉस के विक्टिम है. इन दोनों में इंडिया हमारे साथ ऑन सेम पेज है, पाकिस्तान हमारे ऑपोजिट है. ये जो चीज है ना, ये एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट एक फिनोमेना है जिसको लोगों को समझना चाहिए कि गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के साथ सबसे बड़े दो दुश्मन क्या हैं. टेररिज्म के हम विक्टिम हैं और आइडेंटिटी लॉस के विक्टिम हैं, और हमारे जो एक्सप्लॉइटर है वो उस साइड पर है जिस साइड पर टेररिस्ट है, और इंडिया जो है वो भी टेररिज्म का विक्टिम है. ठीक है. ये चीजें हमें सोचनी चाहिए कि हमारे 70 सालों में हमें जो है ना, एक एक स्टैब से, with thousands of stabs, you know, with thousands of wounds, हमें ये जो है ब्लीड कर रहा है, वो पाकिस्तान कर रहा है. You know, unknowingly हमें नहीं पता लग रहा कि हमने अपने आप को कितना तबाह कर दिया है पाकिस्तान में. आज हम अपने आप को पहचान ही नहीं पाते हैं. हमारी आइडेंटिटी, हमारा सिस्टम, सारा कुछ तबाह कर दिया है. 70s में भुट्टो ने बहाना बनाया कि जी राजा लोग जो हैं वो टैक्स लेते हैं, इनको खत्म करो. और राजा सिस्टम खत्म हो गया. वो दिन आज के दिन वैक्यूम रखा हुआ. क्यों? ताकि हम लोग कभी भी एम्पावर ना हो. और मजे की बात है कि जिस टैक्स के नाम पर हमारे पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम खत्म किए राजों के, उससे कई गुना ज्यादा इलीगल टैक्स पाकिस्तान अभी खुद ले रहा है. और जब हम टैक्स के अगेंस्ट बात करते हैं, हमारे लोगों को जेल में डाल रहे हैं और टेररिज्म के केस बना रहे हैं. तो इशू टैक्स तो नहीं था, इशू हमारे स्ट्रक्चर्स को, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को, पॉलिटिकल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को तबाह करना था. क्यों? ताकि हम कश्मीर इशू से रिलेटेड ना रहें, बीच में एक वैक्यूम आ जाए, खला आ जाए, और उसके बाद हम एक कटी पतंग बन जाएं, फ्री फॉल. पाकिस्तान खुद एक फ्री फॉल में, उसने हमें भी उसमें डाल दिया है. और ये सिचुएशन जो हमें समझनी पड़ेगी. हमें किसी तरीके से जो है ना, पाकिस्तान को आइडेंटिफाई जब हमने कर लिया कि ये हमें, हमारे पर जुल्म कर रहा है, हमारा दुश्मन है, तो फिर जुल्म के साथ, दुश्मन के साथ को एग्जिस्टेंस नहीं होता है. कैंसर के साथ को एग्जिस्टेंस नहीं होता है, चोर के साथ को एग्जिस्टेंस नहीं होता है. उससे आपने जान छुड़ानी होती है. आई थिंक दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एंड इंडिया एंड इंटरनेशनल कम्युनिटी, United States, United Nations, other European countries could play a very strong role. लेकिन प्रॉब्लम ये है कि कश्मीर के इशू में ये जितने भी इंटरनेशनल कम्युनिटी ये डायरेक्टली इन्वॉल्व नहीं हो सकते. उनको या तो पाकिस्तान के थ्रू आना है या इंडिया के थ्रू आना है. जब आपने पाकिस्तान को आइडेंटिफाई कर दिया कि आपके ऊपर जुल्म कर रहा है, ये जालिम है, तो ऑब्वियसली वो पाकिस्तान के थ्रू आके आपकी तरफ तो नहीं आएंगे ना, तो पाकिस्तान की सपोर्ट करेंगे. तो आपको ये देखना है कि कौन. हजरत अली अलैहिस्सलाम हमारे इमाम हैं, उन्होंने कहा आपके दुश्मन का जो दुश्मन है वो आपका दोस्त है. हजरत अली ने नहजुल बलागा में कहा कि 3 चीजें हैं जिसकी तुमने प्रोटेक्ट करनी है, राइट? आफ्टर कुरान एंड आफ्टर प्रॉफिट मोहम्मद, इमाम अली इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस. ही इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पर्सन. ही सर आपने 3 चीजों की प्रोटेक्ट करनी है, अपने मुल्क की, अपनी आइडेंटिटी की, अपने ऑनर की. कहने का मकसद है ये सारी चीजें वायलेट हो रही हैं पाकिस्तान में. हम इनके साथ कोएग्जिस्ट नहीं कर सकते. या तो हम इंसान नहीं हैं, right? We're like piece of stone or rock. और अगर हम इंसान हैं तो हमें अपने ऑक्यूपायर से जान छुड़ानी जो हम पे जुल्म कर रहा है.
हाँ,
नहीं तो अली को मानने का, इसको मानने के सब ड्रामाबाजी है.
हाँ.
ये सब रिचुअल्स बन गए. हमें इनसे जान छुड़ानी है और अपने ऑक्यूपायर को बताना है कि दिस इज नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल एनीमोर.
Yeah, no, definitely. And again, I I I want to make sure that we can. On my part, I'll try and raise these issues and these topics as much as I can, because it was a very enlightening conversation for me, because it was one of the most educational podcasts that I've done so far, because I really did learn a lot about an area that I think a lot of Indians are not very familiar with, and I hope my audience learned a lot as well. And I would encourage everybody who's watching today and right now to make sure to go follow Sengeji on Twitter. His Twitter bio is provided in the description below. Make sure you go follow him. Make sure you follow what he's saying and people like him and the voices that they're trying to raise, and create awareness for yourself and create awareness around people in India as well. Create that awareness so we can finally have some movement on these issues that are just stuck in these doldrums for so many decades. And I want to thank Sengeji for taking the time today and coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you. I really appreciate it. Again, guys, make sure to go follow him. His Twitter bio is provided down below. Make sure to raise these issues. Make sure to talk about them. If you like what we do here on the Sham Sharma Show, you can go ahead and subscribe to the show's channel down below. I will see you for the next episode, guys. Thank you very much for watching again. And until then, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you again.
Namaste.